probably the most second husband energy thing that Drew Bell does is about to go down tonight. It happens once a year. It's very super exciting for the occasion. I'm wearing my Dolly Parton shirt. We've got the fire going. And now I'm going to let Drew explain to y'all exactly the situation, because it's clearly up there on second husband energy.
Big night here. So we always have to decide where Hannah and I are going to go on our annual trip. We always make it a priority to take a trip just us, no kids allowed.
We got a lot of kids around here.
Yeah.
Not invited.
I always have a lot of fantastic ideas, of course, about where we can go, but if I just rattle them off, it's difficult to narrow them down.
Well, you can say the truth. You'll make me overwhelm and tune out and not listen anymore.
Okay. Well,
you can say the truth.
I didn't say it. But, so to help in the process, so that we make sure we pick something that both of us will actually like, I go ahead and put together this helpful slideshow presentation. I narrow down the choices to a handful, and then I give this slideshow presentation to Hannah, who can then pick from a limited, curated menu of items.
Because here's the thing. If you give me, this is how my personality is. If you're like, where would you like to go in the whole entire world? I'm like, I don't know, like Florida. Like, if left to my own devices, I absolutely would be the sort of person who has these like 3, 4, maybe 5 places I go. And I just take turns depending on the season and go back there. And I might even just stay literally at the same exact place. I like travel and adventure, but it's kind of hard on me in some ways. Historically, not as much lately because of Dr. Harper and her crew, but food and the way it affects my body and other places creates a real challenge for me. I'm just kind of a sensitive little system, like sleeping at night, like the time zones. And I don't want to go to places where you eat dinner at 10 o'clock at night. I'm sorry. I will never, I'm like a baby. I will not sleep. And the whole thing's kind of miserable. So Drew, the most second husband energy thing he does is he makes these slides and then they're tailored just to me. So I'll show y'all. So like any good lawyer, Drew has given us an overview with some assumptions that we have to understand whenever we're making our decision. Hector wants in on this.
Hector, you're not coming.
He's not coming. You're not coming either. No kids, no fur babies either. All right. Pretty good. So we know our time period. All right. We're considering like maybe pairing it up with London to stop over for reasons. They're in alphabetical order. So this is why did you have to note that they're in alphabetical order?
So that I'm not putting my finger on the scale and tipping my hand about what I may or may not prefer.
Okay. And then, so he's noted, this is a new edition, folks. This one, I've noted Lonely Planet and New York Times recommendations. So then I'll know what the like travel dudes say. So it's not.
Yeah. So this is the time of year is always important, right? So this is the Lonely Planet recommendations for time of year and the New York Times places to go in 2025.
Yeah. So you've consulted the primary sources.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Drew, it's all right. So we're talking about, I was like, Drew, explain why we have this template. And I'm like, he's like, well, there's not really that much to these pictures. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I feel like there is. And he says, well, he said, okay, Catalonia. And I said, ooh, that's by Spain. He's like, yeah, that's why I included the map. Geography is not exactly my number one skill. If you're from Texas, we mostly know about Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, and then like New York, Maine, Florida, California. The rest is a little fuzzy. Everything else other than that, sorry. Okay, so this is the real template. In case any of you guys are wanting to do this for your gals. Okay, so this is the template for slide 2. Okay, are you ready? Drew, explain to us what are we doing here?
Well, so this just gives us an overview of what we can expect from this destination based on the things that kind of matter to us, right? So what's the weather like, right? Food is a critical component here for Hannah.
Not because I'm such a foodie and want to eat everything, but because of the limits.
It's more about avoiding landmines than anything else. What sort of the activities would be like that you would do there. And then like I said, noting whatever sort of the other experts say. So.
And I'm really, really super persuaded by pictures. So I think Drew puts a lot of effort into, because he's thinking, ooh, kayaks, water. There's mountain things too. Ooh, la la. Okay, Drew. So this slide to me, the sample itinerary. So can you explain how this came about, etc.?
Yeah. So this is just sort of getting more specific about what the plan would look like. And I mean, part of the thing that we want to avoid with Hannah is too many stops, right? Too many transactions.
I don't like switching spots.
Yeah, and so typically we go for 2, 3.
If we're gone for a week, it's 2.
Yeah, if it's gone for a week, it's 2 stops, 3 maybe, depending on the situation. Like this one's 3, which normally we would do 2, but this one's 3. But the travel between these things is not very long.
Well, and what's the other key? Because remember, whenever we first started doing trips together, we usually have 2 components to a trip.
Yeah, we try to not be in a city the whole time or out in the woods the whole time. We try to do a little bit of both because, there are things that we care about in both places. And if we're in a city the whole time, Hannah will get mad. So.
Basically, we do a lot of this just to not make me be annoyed. Okay, Drew, so we've got another slide template these guys have got to know. Okay. So we have a summary, very clear. So when you're making a slide deck, you have to use very simple colors. You see this? And, real straightforward bullet points. You can't read from the slide, duh. But you got to summarize the whole thing or you've already lost my thread, huh?
That's right.
Okay, we got to get the pros and cons. Okay, here is a new, so cute addition. We've got the best for what slide.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how helpful this is really, but I'm trying to sort of say, if you care about X, Y, Z, these of the candidates we've gone over, this is sort of what you should look at.
Okay.
It's kind of what Lonely Planet tries to do.
Yeah. So. Okay, love that for us. So we have some hard decisions here, folks. Oh my gosh, we have a whole nother category.
It's not a whole new category. It's more of a check these choices to see if you don't want to go do something more far afield, like go to Nepal or something.
Is that what's about to say?
No, but
just in general.
We could try to do that if you want.
It's an open queue. Am I looking for something more adventurous?
Right.
No more slides.
Well, there's one more slide.
What's the next slide?
Well, the next slide is things that almost made the cut.
Okay, but they have different reasons why not. Okay.
Why I didn't include them, yeah.
Got you. Okay, the maybes, nots. I'm very surprising, Drew, but this is how my brain goes. There were several clear no's for me on the list. The beach thing, I just was like, no, you're going to be doing scuba stuff. I'm going to be on the beach. And then when you come back, you're going to be all, sunburns. And I'm not going to want to leave. Anyway, that's not going to work out. And so each one, I just sort of the way my brain is, it goes through and is either yay or nay, this or that, yes or no. And then it got down to 2. So my 2 finalists were the Catalonia option and, surprising to my own self, the Scotland option. I was surprised that Drew had a US-based option for this adults only trip. That is not usually his MO. He wants to go far afield to the far reaches of the earth. He'll settle for a little bit nearer so that I'll go with him. Because I feel like we need more time to go that far. But anyway, I came down to Catalonia and Scotland, and drum roll, I am leaning and choosing Scotland. It's official. I don't know why. I just feel really drawn to it. I've never watched The Outlander. I'm very influenced by the books. I've never watched the Outlander show, but I was planning on doing that when Drew goes to trial this year. So, I think I'm just going to become Scottish and we'll watch Braveheart this year. I almost started to do pretend Scottish sound with my accent, but that would be so bad and so embarrassing. But I might have to, what do they call it? A baroque? A baroque?
Brogue. Yeah.
Brogue. I might have to get me some East Texas brogue. Between now and then, but it just sounded so special. So I'm really excited. He's got this picture up there of this special train. Have you done any of those cool special trains? I feel like I want to do a train. I feel like I'm going to sit in that little chair up there and write a poem or something. I don't know. I can just see myself in that moment. I think it also matters. We did this when it's cold and there's the little fires going over there. Our room's a mess. and it's all like cozy and the big weather's coming. And I just am like, in September, I'm going to want to be cozy again. We will have been sweating our honey bows off by then this year. Right now, it's hard to imagine it being 100 degrees for 105 degrees for a million days in a row. But by then, we'll be ready for some cooler weather. So there you have it. Bell's Steak Scotland 2025.